Well, 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 well. Welcome back, everyone. And today, we're going to be starting a personal painting challenge. And that is, I will be painting, as the title suggests, CAV minis. I have 4 CAV minis here, roughly about the size of the team I would like to play, models that I'd like to play with, and yeah, we are going to be using a kit, an air kit. These are for primarily they're for airbrushes. I have an airbrush, but we're not going to be using them as an airbrush. We're just going to be using these as watered down paints. That way I don't have to add any water. I'll just take the water from the pot and add it directly to the miniatures. So I got this from Miniature Market. That's where I got these at. And I got these CAV minis directly from Reaper themselves. CAV is a skirmish game using mechs. It's a very light and easy to learn fighting game with mechs. I mean, that's basically what it is. I will leave a link to it in the description on the CAV official website, and I'll also leave a link to where I got the actual CAV minis at. I will also leave a link down below to this particular set if you ever want to test it out. These aren't affiliated, nothing. This is just me messing around with products. So let's take a crack, opening these up, I guess, a little bit. We have, first off, what is this? This is probably the colors and the instructions. We don't really need that. And then, yeah, let's just take these one at a time, see what we got in here. We're going to have to probably shake all these. But this is a USAF brown. So it's like a brown color, all right. Actually, I won't put them down kind of like this. Can I do that? Will you roll away? No? Okay. This is a forest green right here. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that one's definitely going to need to get shaked up. This is a light gray. Very cool, very cool. This is a neutral gray, a little bit darker, but it's still gray. A light green color, very cool. And another green. This is like a much darker green, almost like a forest green. This is an olive, which is a really dark olive in my opinion. Maybe it'll dry up a little lighter. And then, oh, and we have our metallic. All right. So we're going to use everything from this set on our minis. We're not going to use anything else. Maybe black. But, yeah, we're going to be trying to use just this color palette to paint all 4 of these miniatures. And the reason why I chose this particular set is because I like these neutral tones that kind of allow us to fit in with different areas. Because in the end, what we're trying to do here is we're trying to make mechs that would actually be in war. And we don't want vibrant mechs because that's just screaming, hey, come here and shoot me. So I want like almost undercover mechs while I'm painting. So we're going to be using, for paintbrushes, we're going to be using our, oh wait, we're not going to be using these. Because my wife bought me these very nice detail paintbrushes. We're going to be using these. I don't know where she got them, but here, let me pull one out here. We can see the name, maybe, if it decides to, oh, let me zoom in, maybe. There we go. You can kind of see what the name is here. But yes, we will be using these paintbrushes for the entire ordeal. I have my signature 2 solo cups, 1 dirty water, 1 clean water. Look at that. That's super detail brush. So we will be using these paintbrushes. And we will be using this this little palette, I believe there was a burger on here, or maybe a meatball, 4 meatballs. I can't remember. Don't worry, I washed it off. But this is what we'll be using for our palette. Just put a little dot on there, and we'll paint. Remember, we're not doing much. We're just doing 4 minis, so we don't need a ton of paint. So I wouldn't worry too much about wasting paint because, you know, it's only paint. So what we'll have to do is kind of think of what will be our base. And I think our base will be... I primed them gray on purpose because I want to use this neutral gray to maybe either lift them up or darken them just a bit. If we look at the box here, this is... which one is this one? I think it's this one. Let me double check here. F73. Yeah, so it's this one. It's this almost lightish gray. So I wonder if there's another number on here maybe? No, it's just this one. So if you look here, there's this number that matches up with this number. But this looks like a lighter gray. So we're going to be using that on these miniatures just to brighten them up a bit. So we're giving them a good shake. And we're going to want to get a round brush. And then out of this set, I will be using the 0 brush. A little bit bigger than our... Oh, maybe not. Let me try to zoom in here. Yeah, we'll be using a 0 brush. It's a round brush. You can see... Oh, no, it's flat brush? Wait, that's a flat... Oh, that is a flat brush. We don't want that. Here we go. There we go. This is a number 1 flat brush. Number 1 flat brush. That's much better. All right. So once we have it all shook up, let's back up a bit. Let's oh yeah, look at that. So I have a rag here, just so I can take that off. Look at it a little bit. That looks good. We're gonna close it back up, just so that let air get in there. So now I can shake it a little bit better. We're going to make sure our brush is nice and wet, just like we did in the clean water. We're going to put this in here. Oh yeah, these are very nice. Very, very nice. Okay. So we're going to open this up. Put just a couple drops on here. Just like that. We're going to take our rag here, clean off the top, just to make, try to keep it clean as possible. And then let's get right into it, huh? So the cool thing about, CAV, in my opinion, is I love robots, right? I mean, they are just the coolest. Let's start over here, I think. These are from, I believe, their 3rd Kickstarter, I believe. So like CAV Minis, CAV Mini 3. So if you're looking for these particular models, that's where you'll find them. I believe that they're all being sold on the site. Don't quote me, I'm not 100% sure, but they should be eventually. So if they're not now, at some point, I promise you, all of these miniatures will be for sale. And if you look real close to my brush, you'll notice that I'm not trying to get the paint all the way up. We don't want the paint to be all the way up on our brush, because then it'll get into the actual container holding the bristles, and it'll split it and all kinds of things, and we don't want that to happen. So we want to make sure that we keep our brush nice and moist. So we clean it off, go back for some clean water, Just wipe it off a bit because this paint is pretty wet already because it's supposed to go into a brush or an airbrush, and we're not using an airbrush. We're just using a regular brush, and we're just gonna continue painting this up. Now I'm probably gonna have to speed this up, so I'll speed it up. We don't have to keep listening to me jibber jabber. And I'll play some music. So until then, until we finish this model, see you then. Okay, and we're back. Here we go. Look at this. So you can't really see a huge difference unless you put another miniature right next to it. Let me see if I can, let me zoom in here. You can kind of see the difference between these. Now obviously I didn't give it very long to dry, so it's still kind of wet, so it's a little sheeny, but you can see that just that little extra added some depth to our machines. Now that means that most of our machines are gonna be gray, right? They're gonna be gray because that's gonna represent like a steel or a matted machine worked gunmetal. So we're gonna do the same thing we just did on all of these. So let's go ahead and get started on the next one. Let's back it up here, and we're working on the next one. Same thing, same brush, same 2-part water. Haven't changed it out yet, and we still got plenty of our paint left. So let's go ahead and get started with it on part 2. Okay, and we're back. Here we go. Look at that. Second one down. These are looking pretty good. You can see that this one's basically almost fully dried by now. It gives you a good image on what it's going to turn out as. So we can take a fully dried one, and then this one. Let's see if we can really get this focused here. You know, another thing, it might not come across very well on camera, but there is a slight difference between the two. So we got 2 more to go. We're getting real close. As you probably noticed, I didn't really hit the cockpits that much. They're going to be painted black or something like that, so it's not a huge deal if you get them or not. But we have 2 more to go, so let's keep going. Okay, and we're here. Look at this. Look at this. We're doing pretty well, I think. We got 1 more to go. 1 more to go. And it's the biggest one. First impressions, though, just right out the gate, I'm really digging this paint. I think it's the right thinness. I don't need to work too hard at trying to make it, you know, too thick or too thin. It basically comes right out of the bottle exactly the way I want. These brushes are actually pretty good. They're very light, very soft, so it's easy for me to just, I mean, I'm sure you've seen, I have my finger very far away sometimes from the actual paint itself because there's just so much control with those light bristles. So let's go ahead and get right back into this, and we'll finish the last one. Okay, and we're back. And we're back. So now what we have to do is we have to, oh, well, sorry. We finished them. They're all finished. They all have one coat of this neutral gray on. So what I'll probably do off screen is I'll probably put one more coat on these after they fully dry. Just so they have a nice even coat all the way around. And I'm sure there's some places, if you're watching closely, that I missed. I'm going to go back over, try and catch those places with my second coat. This will just make sure that all of the model, as best as I can anyway, is completely based in that neutral gray. But there's one more thing I wanted to show, and I've never really showed this before, is we have to take care of these brushes that are special, right? Now, I have many special brushes. Most of the time, though, you only see me use one or two of them, but I still take care of them. And what I do is I use this this brush cleaner. You'll get it. It smells kind of like hand soap, but all you do is you'll take a little bit of your clean water, put it in the middle here, and just kind of scrub it in the middle. Just kind of scrub it. And if you don't get enough water, just go back for a little more. We're trying to get this all sudsy. See that? We're trying to get it all nice and sudsy. And then once you get a good suds going here on the brush, you can kind of see it here. You can kind of see that. So what we'll do is we'll take a little bit more water once it's all sudsy, and then just in your palm, right in the wrinkle, just kind of work it around. Get it nice in there. Keep adding clean water. And what this is going to do is going to clean out our brush. And then we want to keep doing this until you don't really see the color that you were using inside of it. And we were using a gray, so it's going to be kind of like a grayish color here. We're going to want to keep doing that until we don't see gray anymore. And we shouldn't see any in our bristles, and we shouldn't see any up towards the tip here. So it's a totally clean brush, and what you want to do is kind of just use your fingers, put it into the shape that it's meant to be. This is a flat brush, so just kind of make it flat. And then I like drying them upside down because water will drain out of the this part. I don't know what this part's called, but this part, it'll drain out of there so it doesn't expand this, swell it up, causing the bristles to fall out. So I usually just put a little bit of sticky tack I got up here. I keep it up above my head so I always have access to it. Just take a little bit of sticky tack, put it on the side, and then put that on the side of your table, your work desk. Leave it there for a while, close this up. And you're right, this will probably last you, oh Lord, unless you paint every day, this has lasted me, I don't even know, 3 years, and you can see that it's not even close to being gone. So it doesn't take much to wash your brushes, especially when you only use a couple. I only use a few, but I've been doing that for these for years. This one's kind of getting old, but yeah, still. And this one too, I use it on these. You can kind of see where I used to have a piece of tape there to stick it onto my table. But yeah, get some of this, wash your brushes in clean water, not dirty water. And yeah, we'll just take one more look at all these. These are looking pretty good. So yeah, until the next video, I'll see you all later. Peace out.